What is up, everybody? It's Cody with Blood Money MMA Bets, and I'm back with another full card breakdown for Dana White's Contender Series. This is for week 4, and it's a pretty good fight card. It's got 5 fights on it instead of 4, so that's good. Didn't have as many pullouts on this card as we've had on the last couple, but it's still got some pretty good fights on it. Gonna have some fight finishes, I can guarantee that. But yeah, man, I'm Cody with Blood Money MMA Bets, and what I do is I break down each fight card and I give you my bets, my predictions, the bets that I'll most likely make for it, or the bets that look good for it, and just give you all the information I can to help you improve your bets on each card for UFC or for Dana White's Contender Series. But if you're new here, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, help the algorithm. I took a 2-month break, so some of you guys may be new here, and I took a 2-month break to hang out with my daughter for the summer and stuff, and I definitely lost my spot in the algorithm. When I put out my content now, I get about half the views, but it's okay. We'll be back. We'll be back. If you want to check out my extra contents, the bets that I drop throughout the week and stuff, check me out on Twitter, X. I post my bets there. I post a bunch of extra content. And then I also have my Patreon if you want to just support my channel for all the work I put in and different stuff. And that's where you're going to get my bets as soon as I place them, my 10 best bets for the week, layer cake parlay, chatting during the fights and all that stuff. So that's a good place. Those are good things you can do if you want to support me. Also on Wednesdays, check out our Defend Your Unit show with me and my boy Johnny K Picks. We'll be on there giving our best bet for each fight. And we give out an easy money parlay and stuff like that. Just talk with the chat. And then on Saturdays for the next at least month, we're going to be doing pre-shows for these fights like we used to do. Now that I'll be off work, I have to have a surgery on Thursday, so I'll be off and we'll be able to do some extra stuff. And if you like fantasy sports, my favorite book to use is sports Underdog Fantasy, where you can go and do a bunch of different kind of picks, like over under on strikes, takedowns landed, stuff like that, fight time. They have a ton of different fantasy options there. And if you go there and use the promo code Blood Money, you'll get a 100% deposit up to 250 bonus bucks on there. So that's an excellent way to get some extra money to have the bet on there and build your bankroll. So check that out if you want to. All these links are in the description. But other than that, let's get right into these fights for Dana White's Contender Series week 4. The first fight is going to be Quillan Salkilld versus Djorden. And this might end up being the best fight on the card. These two are both super skilled. Quillan is 6-1, currently sitting at -200, fighting out of Australia. He's 24 years old, 6 foot. Djorden is 8-1. He's currently sitting at +165, 24 years old, 5'9". So you'll see Quillan's going to be quite a bit bigger with 3 inches of height. And they both got the same age. But Quillan Salkilld, I'm actually pretty impressed with this kid, man. He's been fighting, training ever since he was a young kid in Australia. And he has a ton of amateur fights, as you can see. And then as he worked his way up to the pros, he did have that one bad loss. He fought a guy, his first fight in Australia, who was a seasoned guy, a jiu-jitsu coach over there, and he ended up getting him in a rear naked choke. But since then, man, he's looked good. He's a big dude. He's got good striking. He throws a lot of kicks. He's got power head kicks. He's got really good grappling. He's got pretty good takedown defense, and then he's got good takedowns of his own. He's very heavy on top. What I like about him the most is he pushes a pace, man. He pushes a crazy pace, always looking for the finish. You see he's finished 5 of his 6 wins, most of them by rear naked choke, and he's got a guillotine on there, but he does have KO power. Like this Blake Donnelly hit him with the first hard punch he landed with. He came out just swinging like crazy, and then he hit him with the big punch quick, early, 31 seconds into the first round, finished in 32 seconds in. Like I said, he's got good kickboxing. He's well-rounded. He's got good cardio, good head kicks, good offensive and defensive wrestling, and he's heavy on top, man. And I really like the pace and pressure he puts on the feet too, mixed with his cardio. Djorden, he's another tough fighter. He used to fight out of James Krause's gym, and now he's at a different gym. I would have thought he would have went to Marathon MMA, but he's actually at this Ignite Jiu-Jitsu. But he's a pretty good fighter too, man. He's another young kid that's 24 that's been fighting, since he was like 18 as an amateur, and got a ton of amateur fights with a ton of wins, and then he's looked good as a pro too. All of his fights, even against Bobby Lee, he was doing good there, and slows down a little bit. That's the only thing, but he's got serious power in both hands, and everything he throws, he's looking to knock you out. He's throwing heat the whole time. His right hand's super fast, super powerful. He's always coming over the top with it. Doesn't really set much up, but he's just throwing heat. His offensive and defensive wrestling looks pretty good. Like usually he's just trying to strike, but he can stay up if people are trying to take him down. And I've seen him land some takedowns himself too. Definitely well-rounded, and he's a junkyard dog. He's a tough dude, man. I've seen him take some big shots in some fights and just eat them and give some big shots back. The only thing that I did not like about him is that he did slow down. He slowed down his fights. You know, I've seen him slow down in multiple fights, but he pushes a hard pace, a crazy pace right from the beginning. I like both these kids, man. They're both 24. They're young. Both of them probably end up making it to the UFC regardless. But I'm going with Salkilld. I like his size advantage, and I definitely like his cardio. He's shown great cardio in all of his fights except this first one, but he really just got caught in a submission there. So as long as he doesn't get knocked out on the feet by Gage Young in that first round, which Gage Young's going to be trying to knock him out, he should get this fight won. Next fight is a super weird fight to call, to be honest. You got Yuneisy Duben versus Shannon Clark, and Yuneisy Duben is 4-0, currently sitting at plus 450, 28 years old, 5'4", with the reach not available. And then Shannon Clark is 5-0, currently sitting at, she's about minus 600 right now or something like that, 32 years old, 5'6", with the 62.5-inch reach. So you'll see Clark's going to be 2 inches taller. And this is a very weird fight, you know, to call, because like Yuneisy Duben is 4-0, but all 4 of her wins are over girls that were 0-0. The problem is she whooped them, like the 0-0 girls. Like, she looked great against them. She's finished all of them, but you know what I mean? It's hard to tell what she's really good at, or what heart she has, or what she can stop in this when she's fighting girls that's never had a pro fight. And basically we're just kind of punching bags. Most of her fights were all pre-COVID. You see, she's got one fight since COVID, and that was Ingrid Garcia, where she looked good. I mean, the corner just literally threw the towel in. She looked a lot bigger than that girl, and she was throwing heat, man. But she's a big girl with good Muay Thai. She looks like Juliana Pena, as you can see there. She's from Venezuela, but she's got good Muay Thai. She really does have powerful striking. She's very aggressive. She's got powerful leg kicks, and when she throws her punches, it's weird. They're not like technical. It's just like big, strong, mean punches, like she wants to hurt you. Her best part of her game that I seen, which is important in this fight, was her Thai clinch. She had really good knees, really good elbows in the Thai clinch. Her grappling looked pretty good. I seen her get taken down, but get right back up because she wants to strike. She's a Muay Thai striker. She every prop or everything, every fight that I watched, like I said, it's hard to tell anything about her because she definitely fought punching bags. So, but she looked good, you know, in her Muay Thai. Shannon Clark, undefeated fighter out of Canada, like I said, is very tough. There's a couple things I like about her. There's a couple things I don't like about her. She's very strong. She's got a powerful clinch up against the cage. She'll throw a lot of shots in that clinch, but she's not really throwing power shots. She'll throw knees, elbows, looking to control you, looking to wear on you. Her wrestling doesn't look that great, like against Najira Rep here. You know, she probably held her up against the cage out of them 15 minutes for like 11.5 minutes. And any time that they were standing in space striking, Shannon Clark is so stiff. She's like a big girl and strong, but she's so stiff and slow that she can't really strike like that, man. She just eats punches and then got to move you up against the cage. Luckily, Rep, every time she kept cracking her with shots, Rep would fall into the clinch, you know, throwing big shots and just end up in the clinch, get turned around and get beat there. But the rest of the girls that she's been fighting, you know, she's got a good clinch. She's a very tough girl with a good clinch and good cardio. But even the girl she beat that was 5-0, and you're like, oh, she's 5-0. That girl would beat a 1-0, a 0-0, a 1-2, a 2-0, and a 1-2, and just low level comp. This fight's hard to call, like I said, because like Shannon Clark's got better wins. She's a big, strong, physical girl. I hate her striking. I do like her. Like clinch and striking. But the thing is like Duben that's the best part of her game that I seen was her clinch. And it's hard to say that Duben's going to be any good because she hasn't fought anybody that's good, but she has good striking and she beat the shit out of them girls like bad. She's a monster. So it's going to be a good fight back and forth. I'm going to say Shannon Clark is going to be able to control her up against that cage and land the bigger shots and just wear on her. But I'm not betting this fight at all, man. Like Shannon Clark, like I said, I don't like her striking. It's so stiff and slow that she could easily get caught here with a big shot. But give me Clark, and I'm going to say that she gets it done by decision. Next fight is in the men's featherweight division. We got Austin Bashi versus Dorian Ramos. Austin Bashi's 12-0, currently sitting at minus 550, 22 years old, 5'6", with the riches unavailable. Dorian Ramos is 8-2, currently sitting at plus 400, 30 years old, 5'7", reach unavailable. And this should be a pretty decent fight here too. Austin Bashi, I'm impressed with this kid. Obviously, he's 12-0, so he's got some good fights under his win. He's got a good win over Asker. You can see him short choking there. He was, what, 2-0 as an amateur, and he's got good wrestling. He's got good single legs. He's got a good double leg. He's got good body lock takedowns. he's got really good Muay Thai. He's got like really good Muay Thai. He's got good, powerful Muay Thai kicks, power in both stands. He's constantly switching stance. Like, I'm super impressed with this kid. He's got legit BJJ. His scrambles are good. He's heavy on top. He's got excellent submissions, constantly looking for the finish. You see it here, he's finished his last 4 fights. Rear naked choke, short choke, and strikes over Zach Riley. Before that, had a couple decisions against some tough dudes, and then elbow, ground and pound. I mean, this kid is good. He's well-rounded. He's literally a really good fighter. Like, he should be in the UFC. And he's got a tough fight here. He's got Dorian Ramos, who, if you watch him, he kind of fights the same way. He's got some good, long, decent boxing, but he really wants to grapple, man. He's got really good cardio, really good toughness, decent wrestling, and pretty good jiu-jitsu. He likes to break guys with this pressure, you know, and just constantly stay on them. He does mix up his striking and his grappling really, really well against guys, and using that cardio and stuff to break them. But here, I just don't see where he's better than Bashi anywhere. You know, he's not dangerous as far as submissions or striking. So I think Austin Bashi has the way better Muay Thai, way better striking, movement, leg kicks, all that. When it comes to wrestling, I think Bashi can win the wrestling, but I think, like, you know, I don't know if he's going to be able to just hold Ramos down. It'd be the same way. If Ramos is able to land some takedowns on Bashi, he's not going to be able to just hold him down. So I see this being a striking match for most of the fight, and I'm going to take Austin Bashi in that. Dorian Ramos is pretty tough, pretty durable. He has been triangle armbarred by this Mateus Camilo, which was a really good back and forth fight, and then lost a split decision. So other than that, man, he's been really durable throughout his career, really tough, really good cardio. So I don't see him really just giving up. So I'm actually going to take Austin Bashi, and I'm going to take him by decision, man. Maybe a sub. He could catch a sub in a scramble or something, but let me get him by decision in a pretty good fight. Next fight is in the men's middleweight division. We got Will Currie versus Djorden Santos. Will Currie's 12-3, currently sitting at -400, 25 years old, 6'3". Dorian Santos is 9-1, currently sitting at +300, 27 years old, 6 foot. He's actually 6'2", with the 78-inch reach. I was watching some LFA fights on him, so he's not that much smaller than Currie, but Curry's definitely a lot bigger and built more than him. Drago. Will Currie, good wrestling, really good jiu-jitsu, good scrambles, heavy on top, great ground and pound, good elbows. He's got, like I said, good submissions. He really wants to grapple. He's got decent kickboxing. He really uses his kicks. He's got a power body kick, can go up top with the head kick, but he really just wants to grapple you. You know, he's going to throw some kicks just to get inside, land some takedowns. He's finished 6 of his last 7 wins, 4 of them by KO. He's had some retirements. He's had some rear naked chokes. He's pretty dangerous everywhere. The only thing I don't like about him is that he slows down after 1.5 rounds. He lost to Mick Stanton, and that was only a year and a half ago. Mick Stanton's 10-7 journeyman. And he came out and took Stanton down and was able to win the first round. Came out in the second round, took him down, and was able to start winning that. But then as soon as Stanton reversed him in the middle of the second, started taking over, that actually was a 5-round fight, and he was gassed after that. Stanton beat him up the next rounds, you know, and I don't like to see that out of a young kid, you know, that's fighting a 37-year-old Mick Stanton. But other than that, you know, he's fought some lower level competition besides his 2 losses to Christian Leroy Duncan. The first time he lost to him, you know, he was pretty much losing that fight. And then in the second round, it was like an early stoppage, a weird stoppage if you go watch it, but he was starting to get beat up by then. And then Christian Leroy Duncan in the second fight, it was a good unanimous decision, back and forth fight, but Duncan was even able to out grapple him in that. So, like I said, he's good, but I don't think he's all that great. He reminds me of that Liam Anderson from last week, where he's got decent striking. It looks like he's got good wrestling and good jiu-jitsu, but he definitely slows down like quick as the fight goes. Djorden Santos, it was hard to find fights on him, you know, to watch. He's got, it seems like he has some decent stand-up with some long punches. And he's fighting low level guys too, man. You know, 1-7, 2-3, 1-1, 4-2, 13-9, 1-4, 6-13. 3-0 and 8-2, and he didn't fight there for a little while. You know, he hasn't fought since 2022, and that was a decision win over a 5'7" guy that really wasn't all that good. But what I can say about Djorden Santos is that he's got decent long striking. He's got pretty good takedown defense against the low-level guys we've been seeing, a pretty good get-up game, and he's got pretty good cardio and pretty good toughness. He's got a pretty good clinch up against the cage with some knees and stuff like that. And I wish I could just see more tape on him, because I'm not high on Will Currie by any means. I don't think Will Currie's that good. I don't think he's going to be good. I mean, I don't think he's going to be good in the UFC, even if he makes it there. Like I said, I watched the whole fight of him versus Mick Stanton, where he just gets worked by a journeyman a year and a half ago. And I mean, he's young, but he's 25 years old, dude. Like, what 25-year-old person in the UFC that's good will get worked by a 10-7 guy and then come to the UFC and just be great, you know? I don't see it. But I'm going to take Currie here. I'm going to say that he is going to be able to land some wrestling and stuff like that. But if he gasses out after 1.5 rounds and slows down against Djorden Santos, and he's able to stop the wrestling and keep standing, Santos is going to beat Currie because Currie gasses. So give me Currie, but man, it's only because De Santos doesn't seem very dangerous to me, and Currie should be able to survive. But I like the over 1.5 in that fight a lot. I think that there's some grappling and stuff like that. That's going to burn some of the clock. Last fight is the main event. We got Igor Calvacanti versus Seok Ko. And this, should be a good fight too. Both these dudes are aggressive as they come. We got Igor, who is 9-0 with 9 first-round finishes, currently sitting at -300. 26 years old, 5'11" with a 79.5-inch reach. Seok Ko is 10-2, currently sitting at +240, 28 years old, 5'10", reach unavailable. And Igor Calvacanti fought terrible fights, same thing as it's a lot of these people, man. It's the same thing, and it's hard to tell if they're any good because like Igor, his last fight was a 5-3 guy that was terrible. Fight before that was a 6-4 guy that was terrible. Fight before that, he fights a lot of these dudes from Argentina too. Like almost all of his fights are dudes from Argentina. This guy's 35 years old and he's 2-2 now. He was 2-0 at the time he fought him, and he finished him in the first round. All of his fights are first round finishes against low level guys. But if you go watch him, he's very aggressive. He has powerful striking, man, power in both hands, strong wrestling where he's just scooping up dudes with a double leg, taking them down and then choking them out if he wants to. His nickname is Jakar, the alligator, I believe. The crocodile, alligator. It's Jakar Souza's name. Why am I drawing a blank? Whatever. It's one of them. But he's good. Like I said, low level comp, and he's just smoking them like he should. So it's hard to tell, and it's hard to find many fights that you could actually watch him fight because I found this junior one. I found one of his 2 of his pro and 1 amateur one. Like I said, in them fights, he looks like a beast. Seok Ko is tough, man. This dude, he's 10-2. He's got 6 knockouts, 4 decision wins. He's been stopped in both of his losses, and both by punches, 1 in the second round, 1 in the first round. But he's an aggressive fighter, man. He's got powerful southpaw striking. He's got really good calf kicks. He's got really good calf kicks with power. He's got really good power in both hands. He'll take his time. He'll dart in, let you throw, and then counter you. But he's fighting low-level guys too. It's 7-7 his last win, 28-27 the win before. That guy is 55 years old or some shit like that. Mr. Deep is 52 years old, man. Come on, man. Why are we fighting that guy? But yeah, 5-4. He lost to the 11-4 guy. But like I said, he's an aggressive striker. Both these guys are very aggressive. They both got good striking. The difference is that I didn't see anything from Seok Ko's ground game, and I know that Igor's got a good ground game. So if the striking's pretty even, or Igor can catch him on the feet, or he can catch Igor on the feet, I see Igor taking him down. He's Brazilian. He's going to have way better jiu-jitsu than South Korean. And I'm not even just saying that. I just didn't see Hyun Ko wrestle at all or anybody try to grapple him. It was pretty much all striking. So I'm going to assume that he's, with his really good striking, that he's a striker and not really a grappler. And I think Igor's both. So I'm going to say Igor is able to take him down and get the submission. And I think that happens in under 1.5. Both these guys got so many fights. And all of Hyun Ko's wins and losses, he's got 6 wins by KO, and they're all under 1.5. And then he's been finished twice, and that's all under 1.5. And then Igor's finished all of his fights. So if Igor can't finish him in that first round and a half, or can't get the takedowns, I think that Koi could finish him on the feet, because not really going to have an option, because both these guys are just going to be going at it. It's going to be a dogfight from the beginning, from what I've seen. And I'll take Igor Calvacanti in that dogfight. It should be a pretty good card, man. Look, I got the Barry Sanders 75th anniversary Michelin-esque for the start of the football season. I don't really be betting football, but I hope everybody hits their football bets. I hope everybody hits their bets on this Dana White Contender Series tomorrow. Check me and Johnny K out Wednesday night at 7 p.m. on my channel. That's going to be an excellent show. And then, like I said, possibly we'll start this Saturday where we're going to have the pre-shows with some guests on it. We're bringing that back. So check us out on there. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop me a comment, help the algorithm. I really appreciate it.